Okay, here we are in San Juan, ready to do the last of the Festival Playlist Championships. Done my research, and the criteria is an A800 Audi all-wheel drive. And it's a cross-country track, so I've made sure to grab one that I had handy that has off-road tyres, because I think that might be useful. Cross-country circuits in this are extremely annoying. They often have a myriad of stupid jumps and all manner of other obstacles that are just so annoying. And let's just start with this. Yeah, lots of random off-roading, lots of paths that you can't actually really see what you're doing. I'm always torn between whether or not I stay in the vehicle like normal or go outside the vehicle. Honestly, third-person racing is probably the way to go for a lot of cross-countries. You can appreciate my Assassin's Creed themed paint job. It's not mine, it's someone else's, but I liked it. Oasis Cross Country, let's see how we go. We'll be up against a bunch of people in the same sort of things. Hopefully we've got off-road race tyres. I know I've got off-road tyres, I can't remember if it's race or not. And yeah, we're just going to stay in third person view. I don't usually like to because I feel like I've got better control of the car from inside. But when it comes to cross-country races in this game, being in control of the car is barely a thing. You never really feel that you're that in control of the car. So now hopefully a lot of these guys don't have off-road tyres and that's why they're doing so poorly. Whereas we at least did our research. We're going wide on this, but that's because then we can get the power down and be accelerating on a better line, hopefully. And here's the first of the stupid jumps. I hate these with a passion. And if you're in this kind of car, it just bottoms out as soon as you hit the ground, and you're lucky if you remain in control. Even in a, like, buggy or a Land Rover or something like that, you will generally just stop dead from doing that sort of thing. And often you'll just miss checkpoints. There'll be checkpoints that you have to pass through after you've completed the jump sometimes, and you might just completely go over them. It's really stupid. I don't know who thought it was a good idea, but Trailblazers are even stupider, but at least they're kind of an optional extra in the game, pretty much, whereas cross-country races you pretty much have to do. Whee, this one isn't even a proper jump. It's just a big hill. And then we go through water, of course. We never handle very well through. Thankfully, we've got the ride height jacked up on this. Got rally springs. Well, this is not our first rodeo in this car, I'm fairly sure. Cut across the water. And finish. Excellent. Covered in mud. Yeah, not my favourite racing style in this game, must be said. I prefer just the road racing. 2 more of those to do. Oh, and it's Horizon Arcade time right here, apparently. Well, that won't start for another 3 minutes anyway. And we don't need to do one, so we've already done that last episode.
Begin soon.
Continue championship. Oh, this one's at night. Even better, because visibility wasn't already low enough when driving off-road. It's like, ah, great, we're starting on the road. And not for long. Now we're just ruining someone's agave field. Seems very rude, most of these races. How are you being allowed to do this? Oh, and yep, there's a jump that didn't need to be there because it was a bridge anyway, but nope, gotta have a jump. Thankfully, a lot of the barriers you can just drive straight through. That was a terrible corner. think we put the Eiffel Turbo Rally engine in this car. That's why it sounds like a mosquito. It's super wide and long of these things. Yeah, so, oh, great, big jump. Yep, now you have to turn. Good luck. Way too wide. We're probably not going to catch this guy out very easily because we're just taking this corners way too wide. We're not really braking when we should. Yeah, not great. And now we can overtake by someone else. Hey, he can break the fences for us, so that's good. Try and take a corner well for once. The difference it makes when you take a corner properly. Of course, they seem to be able to just blast through the corners without really breaking any hard, but that's a different gripe for another day. We took this far too tightly and we missed the checkpoint. Okay. Too greedy. Let's just go back a bit further, because we need to take that corner wider. I don't know why I always get caught up with just aiming at the checkpoint instead of the road beyond the checkpoint like I should. Now we've got to hope that we can over-jump these guys, basically, which is just, again, stupid. And we can't out-accelerate that guy. If we get a better jump, we might be able to beat him, though. So we just replay that jump as much as we have to try and get through. Even got a nudge from the guy behind him to help him push a bit faster. So we need to try and get a better line on... Or we could hit geometry. That works too. Okay, yep. We can just hit geometry and come to a dead stop. That's always fun. So let's try and get a better line. Because we landed on the hill. And this time we landed on his bonnet, which is just funny. That's what I think of your stupid jumps, game. That's what I think of them. I'm going to land on the car that I'm racing and win that way. So there. That's the funniest way to win one of those. Oh yes, turns out I didn't like it officially, but I have now. Hey, we'll spin. Must have got up a little. Oh yay. A common horn. Wow. Probably the worst thing other than clothing that you can win. Continue event. Go. Okay, this one I feel I have raced reasonably recently. It's got a few annoying jumps, but it's not too bad. It does at least have some hard barriers to help you around corners. Not that you want to use those, because you do lose your combos, but go a bit wider on the runoff for that, because that's just fine. We do have some tarmac sections where we actually have grip, amazingly. Cut the corner big time here because the next checkpoint is... Ah, that was a tree. I'm not going to rewind. Screw it. I've got 2 more laps. Yeah, the next checkpoint is all the way down there, so as long as you don't cut the corner too much, crash into a tree, like an idiot, if you don't do that, then you can get away with cutting the corner quite majorly there. Terrible cornering, we'll just lean on the barrier again. Didn't lose the combo that time though, that's awesome. We'll dive on the inside this time, how's that? Avoid the debris, so it does slow you down. course he feels that he can just do that. We'll just dive around in front of him. Catch some more skill points. Remember to actually brake for this corner for a change. And not have to worry about landing on anyone on the jump. Wing the debris slightly. Not have to lean on this corner for once. Target our... we slid way too far on that. We're trying to target it and just go just past the checkpoint. And then just wash way too wide. Still, doing better than everyone else. Boing. There we go. That's a much better way of doing that corner, I reckon, than where the actual track is. There we go. And since we're on off-road tires anyway, it's not like we have to stay on the track to get grip. And voila. And that's the last of that championship, and that gets us the last Audi. S1 Audi, bright yellow. Excellent. Another Bumblebee. The only thing remaining now is the Rivals. And the Rivals races are kind of fun. You just do laps, and you just have to post a clean lap. And the key point is, you don't have to be. I mean, you will, because, I mean, I've got like an hour? An hour and 50 minutes to complete this lap. Well, this sprint, it's not a lap per se, but... So it's a case of, well, so long as I don't completely bin it, I could just crawl along at 100 k's an hour, but that's kind of not how I play these games. I tend to go for broke, even though I don't have to, but I will be just shorting it on some of the corners. Like, I will brake way too much for this corner here, just to make sure that I don't run wide. Work our way through this sort of chicane area. You can hit poles and stuff like normal without getting an unclean lap, but you can't rewind and you can't hit the wall. That's basically it. And probably like go wildly off the track or anything. But you can otherwise be pretty pedestrian. All you need is a clean time. Doesn't even have to be a better time. It's kind of weird that the card that I'm doing this in is last season's reward. But they are monthly things, so they do just kind of stick around. So actually, no, it makes perfect sense, because it's like, it's teasing that, hey, you can win this. Here's a test drive, essentially. I'd forgotten that they were monthly things. But it's quite good, because once you've done all of the Rivals events, because they persist throughout the entire month, you just have those points at the start of every other season to work towards the cars that you win. It's kind of funny. And there you have it. 2 minutes and 7 or something. It's just slightly faster than an hour and 50. Yeah, just a little bit. Then you get the option to set a new rival at your kind of current benchmark, if you so wish. Yeah, new rival time. No thanks. I like that the default is no thanks, so if you're button mashing, you don't accidentally start another race. I appreciate that. Cool. Reservoir sprint complete, and now we can go on to the next one. Plaza Circuit. I've got to do this in under 9 minutes, apparently. I'm sure I'll manage. In a Lotus Esprit. Nice car. I remember this from Test Drive, like 4 or something, that we had on our old computer in CGA. Glorious 4-color graphics. those pop-up headlights. Yes, we've got to beat 9 minutes. I'm sure we'll manage somehow. You do get accolades for posting times within the top 50, 10, and 5%, I believe, of rivals' times for a particular leaderboard. So you will want to gun it at least a couple of times. But you can do that at your leisure, you don't have to do that on these. You can jump into the rivals at any time. It's a fun way to just do some quick laps without having to worry about direct competition. Like, I much prefer this style of racing, like time trial racing, versus having other cars on the track that are just pushing me out of the way all the time. Just the mass start that you do in these games. It's so tiresome sometimes. It just feels that unless you get a great start and can overtake everyone pretty much straight away, then the front cars will just run away with it and you'll just be being bullied mercilessly on the corners. Ooh, we so nearly clipped that corner, and it doesn't matter how hard you hit one of those barriers, you can just gently touch it and it will flag you as an unclean lap. But we are home free. I genuinely don't know what the deal is with some of the people that you are up against in these ghosts. Are people intentionally driving really, really slowly to allow other people to beat them easily? I just don't know what it is. I can't think of why you would otherwise literally take 9 minutes to do that circuit. I'm not sure. Is it just auto-generated ones that the game just throws in there for you? I just don't quite get it. Anyway, it does at least allow you to jump straight back. And then 2 of them each month are specifically electric vehicles. So you have the Automobili Pininfarina Battista, which I have no idea what it is. I'm not familiar with that vehicle. What are you? You're like a Ferrari wannabe, I guess? But I do like the electric vehicles. That is terrible for doing any drift challenges in. But they are nice and quiet. And just one gear, so you never have to worry about being in the wrong gear if you're... you could race this manual. I think there was an accolade, or... Nope, see, there we go. Lap time flagged for collision. I was monologuing. And that's all it takes. At least it's a short circuit. Electric car, short circuit, get it? It's so funny. Anyway. I believe there is an accolade for doing X number of races with manual transmission. If you choose an electric car, it makes it much easier, because they only have one gear, so you don't actually have to change gears yourself. It's not desperately difficult to change gears. I just have it on the bumper keys, just for up and down. Ooh, bit of a skip there. But it is just one more thing to have to think about. It's... Oh, not again. I wasn't completely off the accelerator there. You can just finish the lap and then just do another one afterwards, but I just find it quicker to restart. I don't need to practice the track. Part of the problem with doing manual transmission in the game is simply that you have so many vehicles that you end up racing that to learn the right gear positions and stuff for like where you need to be changing and what gear you should be going through specific corners at and stuff like that, it's just a lot to keep track of. We have to have a really good feel for that sort of thing. I'm not terrible at it, but It's just one more thing that I'd rather not just have to think about. So I just don't bother. Yeah, this corner is tighter than I thought it was, that's all. I got onto the power far too soon and nearly did the same thing that time. That is the thing that catches me out with the electric cars, is the torque is absurd. So when it comes to just doing power out of a corner, you can overcook it so quickly because it just launches. And inevitably launches you into a wall. And the final rivals, tunnel run time. We're in a V-dub this time. And being a street scene tunnel run, or street scene rivals map, looks like. Oh, this is a very different beast from the one that I was just in. I can understand why it took someone 33 minutes to do this in this car. This is slow. And you can't even tune them, I don't think. Okay, well this is just a peaceful Sunday drive, but yes, as I was saying, I haven't really done any of the street scene rivals maps yet, I don't think. Now, at what point is it going to flag me for being unclean? Because I just missed that. Okay, yeah, because I actually hit the... It seems going off the track won't necessarily flag you. So many different streets and everything in this city. It's easy to miss the turn off. But remember, I'm going down into the catacombs. Yeah, you get accolades. I think it's 750 points for doing a... actually, it might be 750 for doing it, and then an extra 250 for doing a clean lap. Let's just get that phone box going. No, I missed it. Okay, going left here. Into the titular tunnels. And we should just take it really easy through here, because I don't really want to have to restart again when it's already going to take me several minutes. Oh, wrong tunnel. This takes forever to stop. There we go. Now, looking on the mini-map, there's so much glare as well. Looking on the mini-map, it can be hard to tell which road you're meant to take next because there's just so many overlapping. It would be nice if it realized what Z-axis you were on and kind of faded out the others. Yeah, this lap is going to take me a while regardless to do, so let's take it nice and slow so I don't have to do it again. I don't know what the speed limit is, I could just stick to that. Especially since we know that the brakes are terrible when it comes to... there's this hairpin up here. I think we just need to kind of coast. This is not going to be a top 5% lap, that's for sure. But that's fine. It doesn't have to be. We get the points regardless, so long as it's clean. I still think there needs to be some skill points for not just clean racing, which does pop up every now and then, so it seems not in Rivals. But just for taking like good lines, like nice line or fast cornering, something like that. Because otherwise the only skill points you tend to get are for breaking things. Or things that aren't necessarily skill-based. There we go, 1,000 skill points for breaking something. But nothing for the fact that I've gone through that whole section without hitting anything up to that point. It's very strange. Anyway, that was boring, but we're done. And we came in under our rival by 30 minutes. Who actually sits at their computer for 30 minutes doing that lap? I don't understand. Anyway, tunnel run clean time. Perfect. It was only 500. Okay, so maybe it is just 500 for... I'm thinking of, like, the normal completion for the tracks. You get 750 for completing it, and an extra 250 for winning it. For Rivals, it's just a flat 500 for posting a clean time. That's what it is. But that is now the playlist complete, other than the DLCs, which we don't have. That's everything now. And yeah, 61 out of 75, so that's all we can get for that. I really wish that the DLC didn't count. I feel they almost need to just have their own. If you get it on Steam, like the Ultimate Pack or something, I think it's on special at the moment, then you can get all the DLC anyway as part of it. I did get that recently because it was on sale, but then I'd have to transfer my saves from Xbox games, and that's apparently a bit of a faff. So you can end up just losing all your progress if you're not careful. So I'm not going to try and do that just yet. Anyway, that is all for now. And we still haven't been able to take a picture of a cult classic in a thunderstorm, despite being the storm season. And today is the final day of the storm season. So I guess I'm going to be camping by the coast for a while and just kind of leaving the game running, probably, while I wait. I'm not going to subject you to that. I'm going to leave you to it. But thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next season for more madness.